Ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3 of mTw versus Mouse Sports. You are watching the Premier League's first inaugural Masters tournament. I am LD. Joining me is Gods. And guys, if you haven't already, please go check out the premierleague.eu. You can find brackets, tournament information there. But for now, Gods, we head into game 3, and it's all tied up 1-1. I have to say, both teams, when they won, pretty convincing wins. And you talked about the importance of the draft. What are you expecting to see here? We see Darkseer gets banned, so no surprises there, even though it didn't work. But what are we going to see out of Mouse off the bat of Chaos Knight?
They're going to go with the exact same thing that's done all right so far. They're going to go with the Chaos Knight. They've used it both the last 2 games. I expect them to go straight for that Rubik as their second or third pick if it's on the pool. mTw, though, they're going to go with what works better. What worked back in game number 1, although they didn't have the Tinker and they had the Lone Druid. They get the Tinker this time. Soshka going to be on him probably. It's probably going to be the Lone Druid in the off lane then instead. They could always put Tinker at mid if they want, but generally it's a safe lane Tinker when mTw use it. So Mouse Sports is going to adjust. They're not going to go straight into their Rubik pick. They may get it with this third pick of theirs, but Enigma almost being picked up as much to deny it from mTw as it is for Mouse Sports to use it themselves. Come With Me plays a great Enigma, but it's something that mTw love to put in that jungle, although Enchantress is still there, so it's not as if mTw don't have options left for them in that jungle role.
Yeah, I think it's just such a powerful option for mTw to have. Instead, they get another jungler, though. This time it's the Chen. I mean, this is not a bad hero to have if you want that strong jungler. It's not going to give you as much team fight directly, but when you have a hero like Tinker, having the Chen around allows him to be a little more aggressive with farming, pushing, going for ganks, and still survive. So, a great support hero. And this isn't a classic mTw draft. The strong solos, the jungles, the pushing power, and sort of that mid-game dominant style lineup. Whereas for Mouse Sports, they have some mid-game of their own, but also a lot of early-game presence, hero-killing potential. And they get a Shadow Demon, which is something we didn't see them going for last time. Venomancer getting the ban here, Leshrac as well. Actually, yeah, Leshrac would definitely fit into Mouse's lineup. I was thinking mTw had the first pick here, but no, it is Mouse, so smart ban from them. And well, as we head towards that second stage, it looks like mTw need a support, maybe a team fight type of hero. What are we going to see out of Mouse Sports?
Well, Mouse Sports, I mean, Leshrac would have fit in very well there. I guess we're going to see the Shadow Demon probably teaming up with the Chaos Knight, in fact, instead. But Mouse Sports, I mean, I think you're looking at something like a Rubik as that solo mid. I mean, you've got the Shadow Demon CK to go top. Enigma can either go into the hard lane or into the jungle, but they need that solo mid. And I mean, to me, this looks like Sing Sing, once again, could be playing the Rubik in mid lane, unless they don't want to go for a different route, a different solo mid hero to sort of finish off their lineup and help deal with the Tinker and Lone Druid combo. But Mouse Sports are going to want to be aggressive again. They're going to want to apply a lot of pressure here. And they do still need something to go into that hard lane if Enigma's going to be in the jungle. But they could. I feel this is just going to be an Enigma off lane with Shadow Demon CK, some solo mid hero, and then their third hero could be to round off the tri-lane, maybe get a jungle hero there, maybe get the Enchantress. So maybe mTw can consider banning out something like the Enchantress.
You know, I think you're right about the offlane Enigma. What I'm actually expecting is maybe a Kunkka pick here. We could see Shadow Demon dual lane with the Kunkka. That's a very powerful lane something Mouse Sports have run, and it's available. Gets you those early kills, and really, who can mTw send mid who would deal with that? I guess Tinker can spam March, maybe sit back. There are some options in the pool, but we've even seen Queen of Pains struggle mightily to deal with that combo. And it is the Kunkka for them. I guess for them at this point, the only question is who is Chaos Knight going to lane with, but there are plenty of options in that respect. They have the Crystal Maiden in the pool. If you want something a little bit more team fight oriented, you could even go towards a melee support like an Earthshaker or Sand King, especially with Enigma. Well, if he's in the off lane, maybe not. So we'll have to see. But Mouse Sports get that potent dual lane, the Kunkka, as well as the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last hero for them is just going to be something to combo with the Chaos Knight, and it's going to be some form of support hero. Unless they want to run it as a solo with Enigma in jungle and an offlane, but I feel the Chaos Knight as a solo hero will struggle, and it's probably going to be that Lone Druid in the offlane. So I imagine they're going to go for some kind of support, or at least even a jungle Enchantress, something that can be sort of aggressive in the top lane and really create space for Chaos Knight to farm. And Enchantress, I mean, with a Chaos Knight, you've got both Stun and Reality Rift. That's going to be very hard for Lone Druid to sort of stay in that lane farming. It's going to be under constant pressure from a hero like Enchantress. So Enchantress could work, but then you get sort of run into the issue. I guess Come With Me could play the Enchantress with Bamboo and the Enigma, but they have fewer options as to who's playing what there. So I think they'll just go with some kind of standard support hero. I mean, you're looking at heroes like the Crystal Maiden, like I guess even the hero like VS, who we haven't seen much of as of late. Even Earthshaker could be picked up, but for now, mTw, they're going to go for a stable support of their own. They pick up the Crystal Maiden first. And this looks very, very, I guess, typical from them. You're looking at CM supporting, is this, I guess, the Tinker in the safe lane is how we typically see it, and then some kind of solo mid hero for Syndra in last.
You know, Gods, I gotta say, I'm a little concerned about MTW's draft. I mean, they had the great split pushing with the Tinker, the Chen, the Lone Druid, some good laning phase, but when they get to the mid game, what are they going to do against mousesports here? And, well, you talked about Crystal Maiden. It could even be a Lina. We've seen them really favoring that support. It is. And now mousesports, so much lockdown, so much burst damage, crazy good initiation. X marks the spot. Torrent, Malefice, Black Hole, Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt. I could go on all day. Disruption, Purge. I mean, they have like 10 ways to initiate. They have the lockdown. They have the burst damage. They have some pretty strong lanes, too. Whereas for MTW, I feel if this gets to the mid game and they're not ahead, they're going to have some trouble. I think MTW, we saw in game 1, mousesports had to have a good start to win that game. And I feel like in this game 3, it's the same way, but this time for MTW. They need a good start to deal with Mouse's lineup.
I love what Mouz has done with these picks here. MTW are going to pick up the Brewmaster last, and that could be, I guess they could put Tinker mid with the CM Brewmaster bottom, or they could even put Brewmaster at mid if they feel that's going to be the safer option. Mid lane is going to be a dual lane here, so whoever is mid, they may even go dual lane versus dual lane at mid and put CM Brewmaster against the Shadow Demon Kunkka and put Tinker against the Enigma at bottom. But I feel mousesports, I mean, they've only really got the one option for their draft. They've got to put Enigma as a suicide lane. The only thing they can mix up is whether they put the dual lane CK at mid or the dual lane Shadow Demon Kunkka at mid.
Yeah.
Although it does look like they are going to send CK at top.
And here's the thing about that off-lane Enigma. Very good at last hitting. Well, actually, let's introduce the players, then we can talk about it. Bambo, going to be playing that Enigma. One of his signature heroes, although we haven't always seen him playing it in recent days. Come With Me on the Lina. So it is going to be Come With Me, not 1437 playing that one. But still looking to be a support hero. Sing Sing going to be farmy mid. 1437 handling that Shadow Demon. And finally, it's Black. Going up top on the Chaos Knight. Seems like Mouz is maybe just looking to contest their own jungle. But I do expect the Lina CK and the Shadow Demon Kunkka, like you were mentioning, to be their two dual lanes of choice.
Well, MTW have done something a bit different here. They're sending Lone Druid towards the bottom lane. And this, to me, this is where MTW's lineup does have more versatility. They can do different setups with their lanes, whereas the Mouse side, they'd have to take a big risk if they were to send Enigma not to that suicide lane. They don't have too many options for it. So MTW are going to send the Lone Druid to the safe lane here. Send the Lone Druid to the safe lane, sorry. They're going to send Funzy to mid with the Brewmaster, and it's going to be 3 heroes at top. So this is something a bit different, and we're going to see CM Chen going to be in the offensive jungle with Tinker Soshka in the hard lane, normally given that safe lane to free farm.
You know, I was actually about to say, I feel like this is the kind of lineup that can give an off-lane Enigma issues. Because you have Chen, you have some good chasing, some good lockdown, but with sending the Lone Druid there in the tri-lane up top, they're clearly not going for that. That was actually my line of thinking, was send a strong dual lane there, maybe have the Tinker free farming with CM there and support. But then, yeah, who do you send? I guess you could send Lone Druid up top, so they're just prioritizing effing Mad's farm quite a bit here. And they do have some firepower up top. I'm not sure they're going to get kills against CK, as well as Come With Me, who, by the way, guys, he's already smoked up. Do they want a first blood mid? I guess that's what they're going for here. This is very aggressive.
Yeah, very early kill here, and there's actually a Radiant Sentry Ward nearby. He's going to realize that, though, so he's not going to run in yet. But he's going to get scouted out fairly soon, and doesn't want to run right into that chamber. This is looking for a very early first blood attempt on Funzy, who does have a stout shield, does have some survivability, but he's standing very far back. And there we're going to see, there's your initiation, and this could be the end of Funzy here. Stun going to come as well. Funzy, though, he's tanking it up pretty well, but it's not going to be enough, I want to say. He will go down, and Sing Sing as well picks himself up the kill.
Love the play there by mousesports. As soon as they identify that it's a solo Panda, they immediately look for that kill. They wanted to go for it off the bat, but that's when they commit. And I mean, this is a lineup that, if they get those early kills, will just be devastating in the mid game. Great start for them, and well, what is MTW getting in return? Kabab doing some offensive jungling with Cinderin, who's back to that support role this time. And,
middle tower is under
you gotta wonder. I mean, he's changing roles so much. Does it affect you sort of as a player, the psychology of it? It's a different mindset to be that hard support versus that farmer, that initiator, like an invoker. For the moment, they're not getting anything accomplished here, and it's looking pretty solid for mousesports.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where most good players can switch around those roles. We will see an engagement at top, though. Chaos Knight looking for the opening. It's 1 second stun by the looks of things. Tinker going to drop down the marching machines also. a level 1 match, but Black will back things off here. 3 mouse sports heroes rotating top, and Kunkka being left to solo mid. I like this decision. He's against the Brewmaster. He doesn't need the Shadow Demon support. Brewmaster's tanky enough he can survive the Shadow Demon Kunkka combo, but he's not a hero who can stop Kunkka from farming if it's a solo mid Kunkka. So they're going to send 3 heroes top just to deal with this tri lane, and I feel mouse sports do have the slightly stronger tri lane at top.
Yeah, look at MTW's heroes here. Tinker, Crystal Maiden, Chen. All 3 are easy kills if you get the initiation off. There's not a single hero with an escape mechanism. There's no big AoE stuns. Nothing like a Fissure, a Burrow Strike to really deal with that. And nobody's tanky either. So, yeah, I gotta say, I favor mouse here. The other thing they could look to do, which they haven't done just yet, is do extra pulls. But for the moment, that would leave CK a bit exposed. Both teams maneuvering around. Oh, Kebab gets caught. 2 seconds stun. Light Strike ready to follow. Dragon Slave on top of Kebab dropping low, but the March doing big damage here. Oh, that March could be the X Factor here. Great hero blocking by Black. Not going to be enough, and he may be the next target. Nope, everybody out of mana. All spells on cooldown. Cinder not going to get this kill, but the clap just for a little bit of extra harassment. Well, that's sort of the trump card, the X Factor, whatever you'd like to call it, is that March of the Machines. The damage cannot be trifled with, and FTW taking advantage there.
Yeah, that was just sort of the typical mouse sports over-aggression. That's something they can't afford to do in this top lane. But it's just good. I mean, they still get the 1 kill, but it's not the best trade for them there. They are sort of trading it off. They are getting some decent farm on Kunkka at mid. Enigma's doing okay at bot, but both solo lanes going fairly even between the 2 solo heroes. Lone Druid slightly out-farming Enigma, though. Enigma with more denies. But mouse sports, they need to do well in this top tri lane. And I feel that the key point there is to not be too aggressive and wait for the opportunities. And when you get the opportunities, go for the kills. But that's going to be when Shadow Demon leads. If CK leads, it doesn't work well for them.
Oh, Disruption, Torrent, Soul Catcher, Funzy, no boots on him. The bottle was just, oh, he's going to live. That was pretty close. But in the end, he does escape. We'll be able to salve and bottle up all the way back to full. And, well, Shadow Demon forced back. That means this top lane is really going to struggle here for mouse sports.
Yeah, I mean, mouse sports are just playing back more defensive now. And that's the thing. Tinker cannot be aggressive. It's always going to be Tinker just sort of being only looking for the kills when he gets initiated on, when his teammates get initiated on. So mouse sports just have to play patient, use the creep pulls, and really wait for the proper opportunities.
Well, I do love this play by mouse sports. Sentry Ward placed behind the tower. This is something you often see whenever a team runs an offensive jungler, be it the Chen or the Enchantress, is those big tower dives. Having a lane ward sets them up, and having the Sentry Ward is really going to deny them. Still, they have the option to do some pushing here. The March Machines, only level 2, but even then, will be clearing the creep wave pretty quickly. Especially if Mouse do any sort of pulls that will allow MTW to do some damage to the tower. But for the moment, they're actually not committing to it. Bambo really being driven off the lane here by effing Mad. And, I mean, he's still getting the denies, 15 and 11. But the 2 core farmers for MTW having a great time. Tinker 25 and 6, Low Druid 25 and or 26 and 3 now. So, I mean, it's not looking. I feel like the MTW. This is still a game where they get the farm on those heroes, and then when the mid game hits, they can set up kills, pushes with the Chen, and maybe look to secure a big advantage that way.
Yeah, MTW with a slightly better start, looking to get it even more. They are looking for a kill on Shadow Demon at top. Doesn't look like they've got enough damage. There is a Test of Faith. It's just level 1, but we've almost got enough damage there. Shadow Demon will get away. So MTW have had the better start. Mousesports do have the slightly more aggressive, mid-game oriented lineup, or at least they don't need the farm on their heroes. They just need the levels. Whereas MTW, they need the farm on Lone Druid. They need some farm on Brewmaster as well. He wants a Blink Dagger up, and he's going to get that relatively a decent time, I feel, at this mid lane. It's not going to be put under too much pressure, although we've seen a couple gank tanks coming now. Well, one successful one for the first blood and another from the Shadow Demon. But for now, there's not enough damage coming out from this Kunkka, who does now have the level 6. So another Shadow Demon gank could set up a kill.
Oh my god, come with me, Liz, with about 8 HP there, gods. That was so close, but that's the range of this tri-lane here. Really hard to run it, especially with the shockwave and the missiles, not to mention the march. Well, what can MTW turn it into? That is still the question for me. They're knocking down the creep wave here. They're not actually doing too much damage to the tower. With a Chen and a Tinker, you would normally expect to see it. So I feel like Mouse, as long as nobody's dying, that's mostly what they're concerned about in this top lane. Panda ult is available. That's something else to keep it on. Oh, Bambo! Bambo has to be careful here. Funzy eating the Malefice. Sing Sing looking for the Tort. It's not a level 4 Malefice, so only going to get the 2 stuns there. And well, that should put end to this. Bambo, Soul Rain has the black hole. No, he's just dropping a ward. Getting me excited, though. Getting me excited.
Is under attack.
And Chaos Knight actually coming towards the bottom lane. They've got 4 heroes now suddenly at bottom. Black TPing in. Black level 4, but I think he just decides he can't farm it and he can't compete at top lane. The CM Chen now with creeps as well as Tinker with the level 3 Marks and Machine, level 3 Rockets, just basically push him off the lane. So he goes in towards bottom lane and he's going to wait for an opening here, and it's going to come in the form of this Brewmaster, but that's not really an opening. That's actually Enigma in all kinds of trouble. He's going to go on the run. Funzy looking to chase, not going to pop an ultimate, just going to take out some Eidolons, and it looks like mouz Sports, I mean, they're getting out-farmed, they're getting out-leveled, and this is the start mTw needed with their lineup.
I mean, they needed a good start. This is really a fantastic one, especially when you consider, gods, mouz got first blood. That middle lane looked to be all but won. Funzy still hasn't even used the ult, but he's level 6, 700 gold in the bank. If he gets off a good ultimate, that's a team fight won immediately for mTw, and Sakshka, well, boots of travel up on him. Now we're going to start to see that constant pressure, the Lone Druid pressuring bottom, the Tinker pressuring middle and top. And how do mouz really deal with this? They're not the most mobile lineup. They're going to rely heavily on TPs and walking around, which means they're going to fall behind in levels, and we're already seeing it.
Yeah, no, this is Tinker. He's going to have decent time on those boots of travel, and that is really going to give him a control all around the map. He's level 8. They're going to go for a gank on him, but he's already bought the boots of travel. In fact, Sing Sing, there's your torrent. No boat to follow it up, but they're going to get the kill. But Tinker, he's already bought those boots of travel, so he doesn't really lose out on much there. He just gives a bit of lost farming time as well as a kill going mouz Sports' way. It does help mouz Sports, but they're probably thinking, hey, we've just killed Tinker. He was probably just about to buy his boots of travel, but nope, he's already got them.
He does already have them, and that means we can see him all over the map now. Whether they would, this is something we actually normally see, but we haven't just yet, is when you have a Chen and a Tinker, stack the Ancients with one of the Chen creeps, and then it'll just allow Tinker to walk in, get a ton of farm there. They haven't done it yet. Probably will see it at some point here in the mid-game. But it's also FA Mad, who's got to be a point of concern. 2 pairs of boots up, or of a Venom as well. Not overly far off from the Radiance. I don't think it'll be quite as fast as the last time he played Lone Druid, but he's having a good time, and this is what they need. It's the counter initiation. They're going for the ganks here. Tinker actually cancels the TP. Black Hole just for effing Mad. Soul Catcher as well. Will they even bring him down? That is one beefy bear, but he gets disrupted. And the Light Strike Array. mouz Sports get a kill, an expensive one at that. Up top, though, Black dropping low. Only level 5, and Funzy not even forced to use the ultimate. mTw can go for a tier 2 top. And I'm not sure what mouz can do about this. I guess they'll go for the trade, but a tier 1 bottom, even if they get it, or possibly a tier 2 up top, it's not a great trade on their side.
Yeah, and Black's, this is his 3rd game in a row on Chaos Knight, though this is the first time where he's not farming well. He's had 2 free lanes. This time, he's up against an aggressive tri-lane, and he is really struggling. Level 5, only boots and bottle, not much farm, not much XP whatsoever. And this is mouz Sports just going to go for that trade you mentioned, but they may not even get it. Tinker's going to TP in bottom. No, he's going to cancel it, actually. That's going to be Bear, who is at bottom lane. He's alone. Tinker coming in, though. I think mouz Sports need to back off, though. With the March as well as Rockets, they're going to be spammed back, and come with me. Getting very, very low. If there was Vision and another set of Rockets, he would have gone down there.
He would, and they get the tower top. Kabop as well as Funzy clean that up. I will say, Kabop is very under-leveled, especially for a Chen who spent a decent amount of time in the jungle. Normally, you'd like to see level 5, if not 6 at this point. Now, he's got the farm. 1100 gold, not too far off on that mechanism. And this is what mTw needs. First, they need the levels to start. Just, I mean, you said they're more item dependent than mouz Sports, but they also need some levels. The Lone Druid to get maxed out on that synergy. He's already got the Spirit Bear max, single point, the ultimate. Tinker in particular, very level dependent. Needs the missiles as well as the March max. You'd like to get multiple points to rearm. Sometimes we've seen Dendy just get 1 point laser, then skip leveling it up. We probably won't see it this game, but either way, he's still very level dependent. But they've got the levels. Step 2 is to get that map control, which they've started to do now. 2 towers down top, aggressive wards all over the jungle. That means more time to farm. And that final component, which they're not far off from, is those next items. The mechanism, maybe the Force Staff on the Tinker, the Relic or the Radiance on the Lone Druid, even something cheap if he wants to go that route. I feel like mTw, they've had their start, and they can afford, and that's probably what we're going to see, is just that wave of farming coming out from them.
Absolutely. I mean, they can go for some powers here, but they don't really need to. They want to play this safe, and it's going to be mouz Sports looking to find some kills. Lone Druid at bottom is their target, but he's got perfect backup. 3 heroes right behind him. Tinker can always TP in. And for me, the biggest item coming out of mTw is going to be this Blink Dagger on the Brewmaster. So that's going to allow mTw to really just take any tower at will whenever the ultimate is up. So he's not far off that. Only another 800 gold. Trying to get that farm at bottom lane. He's going to get banished here. Kunka going in. Is he going to drop the boat? Just a torrent here. Sun goes down. Funzy may just want to pop the ultimate, try to get out. He's being sent home by Chen. Does get out of there just. Good play there coming out from the Chen.
There's no Laguna Blade. There's no Demonic Purge. Black Hole was cooling down. If any of those statements were false, that would have been a kill. But he gets away, and I mean that's a crucial save there. He's right back bottom. They can easily go for the tower now. Still no Blink Dagger up, although he did spend some of his gold. No, he's going. No, okay, that's for Chen. So I guess Funzy, just not as close as maybe we would expect. But yeah, the ultimate up, they can go for this tier 2. And if you're at Mouse Sports, what do? You can't rely on Black Hole, because once that ultimate by Panda is used, he can cancel it easily, whether it's the Cyclone or the Boulder Toss. Oh, look at the damage! And Mouse can't even stand at their tower now, gods. This is the power of mTw. They are a siege engine of a team.
Yeah, just Tinker Rocket Spam, even just the CM Nova is just hurting them and pushing them back. These two supports for Mouse Sports, Come With Me, the Lina and the Shadow Demon, are just so squishy, don't have any HP regen or any way to resist this damage, and I mean, they're forced back. Come With Me trying to spam things off, but they're going to get another tower mTw. They can then go for Roshan, they can just go for the mid towers. They've got so many options here, and they'll be getting their next items up very quickly. Sing Sing is going to be the one here on Mouse Sports who's having a decent start and who can maybe stop this push, but he can't do it on his own, and as a result, he's looking just to slow things down and go for a counter push at mid lane.
Cinderin thinking about that, but just a bit too far. Sing Sing, by the way, he's got a haste from bottom. He's got a quarterstaff. Looks like he'll be going for that Shadow Blade. Whoa, look at the damage on the 1437. You were not kidding when you said he can't deal with it. Already dropping down below half health just from a single rocket, a couple of seconds in the march. Funzy getting close to that Blink. I mean, he has not had a good time farming, although he's caught up admirably. 55 CS on him. But it's the tower gold really helping him out here. And once he gets that Blink, they have great initiation. Funzy blinks in, drops the ultimate, claps everyone before doing so, and then the Lone Druid, as able to chase 3,700 gold. He's almost got the relic. mTw just systematically knocking down towers, and those few early kills and blunders of top really coming back to fight Mouse. Oh, Sing Sing gets entangled. Clap to follow. He's dropping low. Will he go down? He will to the march and the right click. There's your relic on the Lone Druid. The tower probably going to fall as well. And gods, where is the trade-off for Mouse? I'm not seeing it.
Well, Mouse are in all sorts of trouble at the moment. This is going to be a Radiance up in the next sort of 2 or 3 minutes. Funzy with his Blink Dagger now, he's got enough gold for it, and items all around, really. I mean, Chen's got his mech as well. Chen's just level 5. He's really under-leveled Kebab, but it doesn't really matter, because he's still got his 2 creeps. He won't have a 3rd creep for a bit of time now, but he's going to have that mech up. He's got his mech up now. He wants to hit the level 60 at the Hand of God, and then this push is going to be... I mean, this is all 5 towers, only 1 outer tower remaining, and that's without a Chen heal. That's with Chen just level 5. It is absolutely a massive advantage mTw are getting, and that's without their core items. They now have them coming. Blink Dagger on, Brewmaster, Radiance up soon.
And they're not stopping. They can keep this push alive, and even with Chen only being... Well, actually, his mech is still not on the way. I would love to see that get flown out to him. Mouse Sports fishing around here in the backlines, looking for that initiation. 1437. He wants Kebab, Disruption, Soul Catcher, but the blink in from Funzy. He's got the blink, and still Chen gets melted down. Absolutely incinerated. 1437 being chased down here by the Fire Panda. Will they be able to kill him off, though? We turn our attention to the other side of the fight, where Sing Sing gets entangled, gods, and he's going to go down here. No, the stud from Black, the torrent to follow. Another entangle. But the Low Druid dropping low, getting focus, needed that Chen to help him out, and while that was happening, Crystal Maiden drops as well, so Mouse Sports, I mean, normally they get Blink Dagger that early in Panda, gets the ult off, you're in a lot of trouble, but they didn't have to follow him.
Yeah, just level 1 ultimate at the moment. That's the thing. mTw, it's still very, very early days here. They're not really doing all that well XP-wise. It's actually Mouse Sports up by 1k XP. Don't get me wrong, mTw still well ahead. The kill score says otherwise. It's 7-4 in Mouse's favor. But that's just kind of, I mean, that's only reflected in the XP lead they have, which is only 1,000 at the moment. The problem is mTw's mid-game push, not to mention the fact they've got this massive item lane, is going to be really hard to deal with for Mouse Sports. Mouse, though, Black has caught up okay now. He's got his treads up. He's got enough gold for a Drum of Endurance, which I imagine he'll just want to buy. I don't think he can save up for a BKB or something. He just wants to get whatever cost-effective, cheap items he can. And there we go. He gets the Drum of Endurance, but... I mean, Mouse Sports, they're getting what they can. They're getting some kills here and there, but it's still going to be mTw, who just need to play a bit more patient, get the Chen level 7, get your Brewmaster up to level 11 as well. You want the level 2 Brewmaster ultimate. The level 1 ultimate is just not that effective anymore, and then they'll be able to just wipe apart Mouse Sports, I feel.
Well, they're not too far off. Only 2 levels to go on Funzy. Only 1 to go on Kebab. And are they actually going to wait, though? It doesn't look like it. 1437 donating to kill the way of mTw. He gets picked off, and This is what happens when you lose those early towers. It's so dangerous for your supports to go roaming around looking for kills because MTW, guess what? All the lanes are pushed out. That means they're going to have the access to place wards to deward. And in fact, look at mousesports. They are playing 100% in the dark. 5 towers down, no wards on the map. And that means, I mean, even if these supports can buy wards and place them, which they have them right now, but they're not, they're just going to be so damn squishy. And against an early Radiance, against the Blink clap from the Panda, I feel you have to have those bracers. This is the utility of the support. I stand any chance.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. And I mean, they're not getting them at the moment. They're lucky to have boots, I feel, because they've had such a slow start. No tower gold to go their way either, and that to me sums up mousesports' problems. They just have not been able to put on any pressure of their own. I mean, they've got 7 kills, but it hasn't been as a result of them putting on pressure and ganking. It's been entirely as a result of MTW going for pushes and mousesports finding an opening to get a kill or two. But for the most part, it's been all MTW. And we'll see that probably continue here. I mean, look at this. Chen just now picking up a bracer or two here and there just to tank up because he's such a low level. Doesn't have too many stats. And that kind of sums it up. I mean, mousesports, their supports have absolutely nothing. No braces, whereas your Chen can afford to get mech, then a bracer. Probably even a second bracer now if he wants as well. And things are just going to get harder and harder. Radiance up in just 200 gold.
Yeah, now, everyone, bear in mind, as good as this looks right now for MTW, it is mousesports who have the big team fight, the burst damage. And although they're behind, they aren't particularly item dependent. For them, it's much more about finding that positioning, finding the openings. 16 is a Shadow Blade, there's a Black Hole and a Blink Dagger to work with on Bamboo, so if he can find that Black Hole, gods, the boat as well as the Black Hole can turn the tides of a fight. Plus, you throw Come With Me's AoE on top of it. I don't feel mousesports are out of this, but the key point here is that MTW control the pace of this game. They have the map control, they have the items and the heroes to just keep all these lanes pressured and keep Mouse sort of restricted. But if MTW make a mistake, if Mouse find an opening, Mouse can jump right back into this one.
Yeah, no, I do feel that MTW need to sort of continue applying pressure. Once they get these items up, they've got the Radiance now. And Brewmaster coming in bottom lane. He's halfway to this level 11. They may just go for this anyways, just with the Radiance. I feel they don't have the level 11. It will help them out massively, but it's not essential for them just because of how squishy these supports are. And for me, Brewmaster, he needs to just blink in and look for those squishy supports. Take out Lina or Shadow Demon. Even the Enigma. Enigma's got 850 HP. With a Blink Dagger, won't be able to escape if he gets clapped up right away. So if he just goes for some of those squishy heroes, rather than the Chaos Knight, rather than the Kunkka, he's going to be having a big positive impact on these fights.
Well, mousesports find their first ward, and that's going to allow them at least to get a little bit of map control back. I'm with you that I don't think they need to wait, and apparently neither do they. 5 heroes grouped up mid. Radiance up on the bear, as we've mentioned. 300 gold on him. Kabop has that crucial level 7. Triple Satyr Hellcaller, really not the best team fight creep, but gives you a ton of push power. And it gives you that Unholy R, a little bit of regen to assist your push to help stabilize it. They're going to get this tower, guns. The question is, do they go for Roshan after this? Do they just back off and farm? The Glyph is forced. I feel like if they want to go high ground, they have a pretty good shot at winning that fight. But they certainly don't have to. Here we go, middle lane. Nope, they're going to back off.
At least for now. I mean, you mentioned Roshan. I feel they could just, well, go for that safe Roshan. No, they're going to have Brewmaster TP top. They may as well, yeah, don't give up any free gold and any towers to mousesports. And that helps out Funzy because he's now going to get that level 11. So I like MTW not rushing things here. I think they could have gone high ground. They may have won a fight. They may have got a tier 3 tower, but this is going to be the safer option. They get Brewmaster's level 11, they push back the top lane, they prevent mousesports from getting themselves a tower, and now they can go for Roshan, then a tier 3 push, or just go straight for that tier 3 push even without Roshan, as they've got the level 11 Brewmaster now, who's going to have such a great initiation, and it is going to be Lone Druid picking up a Vlad's very, very soon for himself as well. So some just cheap, cost-effective items coming all around. I mean, even Lone Druid, not worried about going for an Assault Craft, just saying, we want to push, we want to end this soon, picking up an early Vlads.
Yeah, great point there. I was actually about to say the same myself. We often do see those bigger items on Lone Druid as the next step, and he is farming pretty well, but I'm with you. MTW, they don't want to let this go late, as far ahead as they might be right now. At some point, Mouse will get their core items up. You know, maybe we'll see a BKB up on the Chaos Knight, and there's really no answer for it aside from the Entangle, which is a powerful one, but unreliable. Oh, the early Vlads, it's going to just sort of allow MTW to take that brute force, muscle your way in, try and overwhelm mousesports' defense's kind of approach, and what a Mouse really to answer back. One option would be something like smoke ganks, although it's really hard to execute those when all the lanes are being pushed. But I feel like a head-on team fight here is going to be pretty difficult. for mouse sports to find, or for them to be able to succeed in. I'm not sure the gank will be easy to find either.
Yeah, no, that's the hard thing. It's going to be mTw just sticking together and playing this very, very safe and slow. I mean, they're just getting whatever cheap items they can to tank up CM with a couple braces. Chen, I mean, he's got 600 gold, can pick up his next item as well fairly soon. And things are just going to get really difficult for mouse sports. Where are the openings going to come for them? It may come if mTw take a risky decision to go for Roshan. Black picking up an Armlet. So not going for a BKB this game. I feel Armlet slightly better against this mTw style. BKB wouldn't really help against really any of these heroes anyway. So Armlet going to maybe be the burst damage they need to kill some of these heroes off very, very fast in team fights. Yeah,
I mean, heroes like Tinker, Lone Druid, you really don't want to let these heroes sit around in the fight. I mean, even a Chen, just to, be able to use that mechanism, use the heal, send multiple heroes back to base if you need it. It's something you don't want to have to deal with. And, well, here's the problem. Well, here's one of the downsides to mouse sports position, is they require so many wards here to have any idea what's going on. And that makes those supports, we're not seeing Bracers in Shadow Demon. We're not seeing Bracers. Well, actually, we see one on Cover with Me. But it's not the double Bracer magic wand that we see on Cinderin, who's also got 700 gold in the bank. So it is a big investment for them losing those early towers. It's not just about the gold, not just about the map control. It's about the investment that those supports have to put into additional wards. And in they go, gods, for Roshan. Well, they do have the Tornado Skepticals out, but it could be dangerous if mouse sports decide to show up.
And you mentioned those supports putting all this gold into warding, and that's just being constantly de-warded by mTw. And then mouse sports are buying sentries to de-ward of their own just to get some map control back. It leads to both Shadow Demon and Lina being so poor. And they have, I mean, they may know this Roshan's going on, but there's not much they can do to prevent it. It's going to be Soshka defending the top tier 1 tower, while Roshan goes down. Lone Druid going to pick himself up the Aegis. And I feel this is now the time for mTw to strike. They can push very, very soon. There's not much else they're waiting for. Effing Mad has picked up his Vlads, and I'm not sure what else they really need at this point.
Maybe just the Scythe of Ice and Soshka, who's very, very close, only about 1,000 gold away. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, there's no reason to wait. You mentioned the level 11 on Brewmaster, they have it. The support's quite tanky. Cinderin maxing out both of the nukes. Chen's got the 4 creeps. He's got the mechanism. Maybe a drums if that's his next item of choice. Whatever mTw really wants, they have it. To me, the only reason to wait is get that Scythe of Ice. But after that, everything else is ready to go, and you really don't want to wait too long against Mouse, just because their team fight and their late game is pretty scary. Kunkka as well as Chaos Knight can dish out a hefty amount of damage if you let them get the openings.
Yeah, now we'll see whether or not mouse sports will get those openings whatsoever. And I mean, if they can just sort of, well, not so much as stall, but if they can get Black to get himself up another big item, probably gonna go for the Heart Neck. But then meanwhile, Bamboo, top lane, he gets caught out, and there is no escape from him. He's got 1800 gold. He does have the buyback if needed. Is he going to be able to get a blink off? Nope. Cinderin, Nova takes the last hit, but making sure there's no blink out. And mTw now are going to, well, they're not going to go for an all-out push yet. They're just going for this split farm, split push. This is all right for them because they're out-farming their opponents, and it's not as if mouse sports are picking up big items in the meantime. It's only really Black who's getting any farm whatsoever, and sniping the Enigma is going to slow down any item progression of his as well.
Speaking of that Enigma, it's only a Blink Dagger. There's got to be something on the Courier. No, nothing on the Courier for Sexy Bambo. Now, he was in the offlane. He's got 115 CS, but we just see him falling behind overall. If you look towards the charts, 150, 160. That's sort of where the top farmers are this game. And I mean, Enigma is a hero that, sure, he doesn't necessarily need the most items, but you'd love to have a BKB. So that even if you drop your ultimate, you don't have to catch Panda, you don't have to worry about him disable you, as well as just the magic community. Against Tinker, there's a lot of burst damage. I feel like he's, it's just going to be hard for Bambo to find a good opening for that black hole. Even though mTw are going high ground, and that's normally where a Blink Dagger will let you find that opening, you're up against a Radiance Bear who might disable it. And mTw can kind of brute force this with the creeps. They don't really have to send the heroes in.
Oh, and Sosh with the Scythe of Vice now. And that's going to be really hard for mouse sports now. I mean, even Black, he can't just go running in on the front lines. He's going to get sheeped up. He's going to get disabled and focused down if he goes too aggressive. And as a result, I mean, we're the only opening, the only thing that mouse sports is going to be all about this Kunkka. I mean, Black can go in the front line, maybe tank things up. He's going to go down, but if Kunkka can get a big cleave off, I mean, he's going for this big crit stick and hoping for that big wombo crit. And if he can get that, things could go all right for mouse sports. But without it, I just feel, I mean, mTw have so much survivability on going for their side. They've got the mech, they've got the Chen ulti heal. it's going to be, well, mTw. They're not even looking to go for that tier 3 high ground push it, just because they know they can just wait it out and outfarm their opponents.
Oh, bottom lane. Nope, Sakshi gonna force that way, gonna TP out. And this is the beauty of having a Tinker right now, is you don't even have to give up this bottom tier 1 like you would with other heroes. He can TP, drop a couple waves of marksman machines, and then immediately rejoin the fight top. And now mTw, they're satisfied with the creep equilibrium. They're gonna go high ground here, gods. Oh, it's going to be hard for mouz, but if they can find that big opening, there are still a couple of fairly squishy heroes here. Will they find it? That's going to be the question. All eyes on Funzy as well as Bamboo. But here we go, high ground breach. The bear just mauling that tower down, and that demolish ability is going to chew through it. The glyph is forced. mTw will back up. Sakshika TP's away. This is the moment for mTw to be careful with their positioning. Wait for that Tinker to come back, and, well, he'll be back in just a few moments. In fact, he's coming in now. Round 2 coming. Tower dies bottom. That going the way of Bamboo. 2,500 gold. No big item pickup for him off of that gold. He's got to save for buyback. And oh, can they really withstand the second wave, gods? I am not sure they can.
Well, I feel this is going to be a lot harder this second time around, and we'll see whether or not they can. Sing Sing's got buyback if he wants, but I'm sure he'd much rather prefer to pick up that completed Daedalus here. Torrent and AoE just being spammed off, and this tier 3 tower probably going to go down to the Lone Druid. He does have to re-summon his bear. Will just quietly do so. Brewmaster Blink ulti high ground. mTw found the opening, and it's going to be Come With Me who probably goes down. Enigma does get kept alive by a defensive disruption, blinks himself out, and it's Kunkka who does drop, forces the buyback. mTw now finding himself slightly on the back foot as a result of Black, but Black going to go down himself. He's got buyback, and buybacks galore coming out from mousesports. The only way they can hold, their only option at this point in the game, and it's still mTw who seems to be coming out on top.
They can't do it with this bear right now. There's the black hole, actually completely airballing it. It's Bamboo. Oh no, and now Cinderin getting focused, but even the Crystal Maiden can't die. Black wanted that kill, not gonna find it. Just overwhelmed, surrounded, and brought down, and Bamboo will be the last one to fall. One more swing of that mace by the Panda. Too much brute force. I mean, mTw just, they've been doing too many bench presses at the Drim. They're just a bit too strong here for mousesports. Just overwhelming them with raw strength and just right-click damage. They didn't have an answer for that Spirit Bear. It's a situation where mouz just needed items, they needed some more levels, they needed time, and that's what mTw just wouldn't give them.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing them, I mean, all their ultimates on cooldown now. No Phantasm, no Kunkka Boat, no Enigma Black Hole, mTw not even afraid. They're just tanking up the tier 3 tower, just going head on for it. They're going to back things off now as mousesports slowly respawning. Another 10 seconds, we'll see the entire mousesports team back up and kicking, but for now, mouz are running out of options. They've lost the top racks, and I feel it's just a matter of time. mTw can just wait for the Brewmaster ultimate to come back up. They'll Brewmaster by then, they'll be level 16 as well. And with this Ag Scepter level 16, Brewmaster is just going to tear apart mousesports.
There's nothing Bamboo can do. I mean, he needs the BKB, otherwise the Panda makes him useless. Even that fight, I actually thought mousesports had a chance, because the disruption was great. It was a great timing for it. And then more importantly, Panda just decided to ignore Bamboo, let him get away, went for some other heroes instead, not wanting to stand around for 2.5 seconds there. Oh, Sakshika force staff away. He should be okay. Are they really going to chase even the Shadow Blade being used? Oh god, this is a big dive, and the net is closing. They want Sakshika. I don't think his buyback. They're gonna get him, I believe. Sight the Vice, Torrent, all the burst damage, they bring him down. In comes the rest of mTw, but just a bit too late. They get a Tinker, but what do they turn this into? For the moment, looks like they want to push. I'm not sure they can actually go for the tower. Blink in! Oh, immediately the Primal Split. They won 14-37. They won't Come With Me. They should be able to clean up both supports. Boulder Toss cooling down. 3 seconds to go. Blocking himself with that Wind Panda, but finally it gets out in front. Tornado to start. Will be dispelled, and then the Boulder Toss on top of it. Come With Me will go down. And 2 deaths from mousesports. The boat flying in, hitting Kabop only. But Sing Sing, he can't go in.
No, he's going to have to back things off now. I think mTw are going to go for this bottom lane Rex now. They're only lacking the Tinker, and Tinker, well, he's back in 20 seconds, and he can TP right into the middle of that fight. Should it break out, and I think things now going to get very difficult for mousesports. Still no Black Hole for a while now, and the other good news for mTw is that was a boat that Sing Sing just threw, and that means there's not going to be any boat up to try and defend this bottom lane push, and Lone Druid is feeling pretty confident. He's got a second bear if he wants it, although it looks like MTW just going to back things off for the moment being, but I feel they can just group up and go for it very, very soon.
Yeah, maybe they're waiting for Roshan. It's about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 to go before that is up, so it's not far away. And I feel like this time around, mouz just can't give it away. They have to try and force something, whether it's before the fight, whether they try and ninja it themselves. If they give it away again, mTw can almost certainly just... They can throw their bodies at this tower and bring it down that way. Especially having the Spirit Bear, having Chen, so many tanky sort of frontline style units here to work that tower down. It's already very low as well. If you look towards the middle lane, 260 HP. The glyph will be up, so that's something mouz have to work with. But I think this time around you can't give Roshan away. It was okay last time, you weren't down in terms of racks, but now that top lane constantly pressuring one more lane of racks and you're pretty much out of this game. So the question is, how will mouz look to prevent that Roshan? Or will they? I mean, maybe they will.
They'll have to get some kind of positional advantage there, and it's going to come down to, I mean, hitting their AoE combo, getting a black hole off, getting a big torrent and ghost ship off, and hopefully hitting that big cleave. Sing Sing now just 600 gold away from the Daedalus, then he's going to get the really big cleaves coming in, but he's still going to have to rely heavily on the luck of that, and it is going to be mid lane, mTw. They're feeling confident, they think they can get this. They're going to get the tower uncontested. Lone Druid, his Spirit Bear, tanking it up a bit, just taking a bit of damage, but he can only 3-summon that, and now these Raxes at mid lane are open for the taking.
Yeah, Vlad's and Assault Curse both up on the Lone Druid. So much armor to work with. And that's one thing Sing Sing has to keep in mind is even if you hit a creep here, which has very low armor, it's not going to do quite as much, because whatever damage that unit takes, that one splashes through, in goes Bunzi, catches two with the clap, the ultimate, immediately zaps down the Shadow Demon, 2 supports dead off the bat, Black on the back foot, Sing Sing as well, the 2 melee damage dealer just running away, and mTw going on, I don't want to call it a wild goose chase, but really chasing here for Bambo. Meanwhile, though, it is Black. Sing Sing finds himself a double. Maybe he can even go for Panda, but there's Sakshka, the Scythe device. Triple kill for Sakshka as well. Sing Sing running for his life. No detection. The glyph is still up. mouz, do they have the buybacks, gods? I don't think they do.
Yeah, this could be it for them. I don't think they're going to be able to come out of this one, and it's going to be effing mad. Getting the Raxes there. Bamboo pops the ultimate. Sing Sing trying to get in there, trying to go for a big cleave. He's not even going to get a single right click off. He goes down, and Black calls the GG. mTw are going to go through the grand finals. Now Sports drop down to the loser brackets where, well, they meet Na'Vi.
And boy, I mean, when you, if you have to face anybody in the loser bracket, probably the team most teams least want to face is Na'Vi, or at least they'll be the team that's likely to give you a huge challenge. Although mouz are pretty confident about their ability to beat Na'Vi. They were talking about it back in DreamHack. We'll have to see if they can do it. I mean, their team is very kind of boomer bust style. It's hard to say who will have the edge in that matchup. Generally, you would have to favor Na'Vi just based on the track record, but Na'Vi, I mean, they've had some hit or miss matches. We saw them lose to Quantic in the defense winner bracket. They experimented with some weird heroes, but Quantic looked pretty good. Although we saw yesterday, Dendy's Tinker, boy, if you've not checked out that game, that may be Dendy's best hero right now, is that Tinker. Got a quad kill in a 1v5, TPs into the entire enemy team. That is a fearsome beast. And we saw them having some trouble this game with Tinkers, so that's something to look forward to. Maybe keep your eyes on if you're on the mouzeboard side.
Absolutely. I feel we'll see some more. I think it was game 1 where they actually banned Tinker in the first 3, or at least 4th or 5th banned it. But mTw getting their hands on it here and making great use of it. They did drop the 1 game, so mouzeboards didn't go down without a fight, but it's going to be. I mean, mTw, who have been in decent form as of late, and they did win the DreamHack. Since then, they've had a few average results, but I mean, they are the DreamHack champions, one of the few teams who have beaten Na'Vi. Possible rematch of that finals in this Premier League Masters final. We will see whether or not Na'Vi can get through mouzeboards, though. LD, I'm going to be leaving you, man. It's going to be you and Luminous casting the next 2 games, so I hope you do enjoy them.
Gods,
it's been a pleasure.
I will enjoy them, and boy, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for casting with me, guys. Show God some love in the chat, of course, but he will be leaving us to get some much well-deserved rest. I think I should throw in a few more adjectives there. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for game number 3. mTw take this series. It went 3 games, but all of the wins looking very convincing. In the end, it's mTw just a little too much for mousesports' way. They take game 3. They'll be dropping. mousesports will be dropping down to the lower bracket. They'll be facing off against Na'Vi. 3 teams remaining. mousesports and Na'Vi on the verge of elimination. Who can make it into the grand finals? We'll have to find out. But for now, that's going to do it for this series. Guys, don't go anywhere because we have that mousesports versus Na'Vi best out of 3 coming up momentarily. In fact, I think it should be starting right after this match. We'll have to see if the teams are ready. But for now, gods, thanks again for joining me. And guys, that's going to do it for the Premier League Masters. For the winner bracket finals, we'll be heading in momentarily to the loser bracket. For now, gods and LD, signing.